Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. It's not SBD Monday, but it is a video on my program. So, as you see, I use PRs, powerlifting, 15-week programs. Their website is here. They've got free programs for everyone. They are beginner programs. They're just kind of cookie cutter, basic. If you want like a personal one, you'd have to find a coach and pay for that and stuff. I don't do that. I just find the free ones and I tweak them to how I want them. I guess you could call it self-coaching, but I'm not really coaching. I'm kind of just doing what I feel is good for now. I'll probably get a coach way later in the future. But here you can see the one I was using. 3 times bench conventional 15-week program. And then the one I'm using now is the intermediate powerlifting one, which is pretty good. And then you have their 3-part YouTube video, which helps you learn how to use it. They're pretty good. The guy that does it explains it fairly well. There is one part that I'm a little confused on, which is this chart here about weekly maxes and RPEs. I'll have to rewatch and figure it out, and hopefully I do. But you got that. You got the RPE rating of explaining what is each. So 10 is maximum effort, you couldn't do any more, and then 8, which is 7 to 8 is like a range you'll be in for like accessories. So it's like you had 3 or 2 more in the tank. Good stuff. And then here's your recommended splits, or like schedule of what day you'll do what. So it gives you squat, bench, deadlift, and then primary, secondary, and tertiary, which is only for bench because I'm doing three different bench days. And if we go all the way to the side here, we can see you got it's 5 weeks, week 1, 2, 3, 4, and then week 5 is always your deload. So it's already set for, if you input everything, it should set you up for this correctly. And then that'll be the end of block 1, and you go to the bottom, you got block 2, block 3, and then you got your optional peaking block, which if you were to like about to go into comp, you would use this to do that. And then your last week would be, you got SBD on Monday, squat and comp bench on Wednesday, and then you would rest until Saturday, which is when meet would usually be, because meets are usually held on Saturday. And then you have RPE calculator, which is very nice. So if you don't know what RPE it should be, or what it could have been, I guess you could say like RPE 8 of my 475 deadlift would be 438. So I would do that for 1. But if I wanted 2, RPE 8, it would be 425. So pretty good calculator. And then you got the chart that shows percentage of your max and how many reps you're doing of it should be how much RPE. Or if you're doing RPE 8 for 5 reps of your max, it should be 81.1% of your max. And then for block 1, we'll just go back here just to show what I'll be doing on SBD. So week 1, day 2, because day 1 will be Saturday and it will be competition tempo bench, which is good to start out with, since my primary bench days on the other program, the 3 times bench one, was on Saturdays, and so I'm still doing bench, which is pretty good. And then day 2 will be Monday, so I have Saturday, rest Monday, and I believe it'd be rest Wednesday, rest Thursday, or maybe it's Friday, I don't remember. No, Wednesday rest, and then Friday, Saturday are together. But I like it that it's going to be more rest days and less days at the gym, because I wasn't getting fatigued, but I felt like it was just a lot. And it didn't really, I don't think it impaired me, but it might have. I don't know. At the end of the block, I was absolutely cooked. So hopefully it doesn't happen again. Although, whatever. So for SBD, I'll be doing pause squats for 300 at my top set for 1x3, which is pretty heavy for a pause squat. You got your deloads 270, and then, or not deloads, your back downs for 5, and then 3x5 of 255. It's pretty volume, a lot of volume there actually. Your block 1 should usually be volume focused rather than hitting heavyweight. Obviously, once you get to like a heavyweight on your maxes, like squat 385, it's not the heaviest, but for me it's heavy. So to be doing 3 reps of 300 is pretty substantial, especially for a pause squat. I'll have to learn how to do things correctly because my pause squats aren't that great, and I've been doing them with like lightweight from the other program, but we learn as we go. So we got that. We got Larson close grip bench press. I like these programs too because he gives you a good explanation of like, okay, so this is second, so your eccentric is 0, your pause is 1, and your concentric is 0. So on the way down is as fast as you want it to be. You have to pause for a second on your chest, and then when you push, as fast as you want it to be. And then Larson will put your hands closer, so it's more tricep. So you're I guess you're working on your lockout rather than press off of your chest, which if you had your legs down using leg drive would be substantial considering. And then you got RDLs instead of deadlifts, which I found interesting, but I'm not going to question it. I'm going to do it and see how I feel. If I feel like RDLs aren't really helping, which I hope they do, because I haven't done RDLs in like forever. I do believe the last time I did RDLs was 2 years ago. I know, I don't do them. Actually, I got straps today that came in. I'll put that on the screen. But that, and then the accessories. I'll probably be doing leg press because my gym doesn't have a belt squat. My one at home does, so if I'm doing this over the summer, I might try belt squat. I don't know. I've never done it. It looks a bit weird, but if it feels good, then yeah, maybe I'll do it. But and then the next day we got comp bench, which will be, I believe it's a secondary bench, not a primary. Oh no, it is a primary. Look at that. Primary bench, so 190 for 3. That might be a record. Well, actually, no, it won't, because I did 205 for 3 once. That'd be pretty cool. And then we got high bar, or safety squat bar squats. I will probably be doing safety bar squat on these, because high bar feels quite similar to low bar, and I don't feel it in my quads as much as I probably should. I feel it more in my lower back for me trying to stabilize, but that's kind of just me. So I'll probably be doing safety bar squats, also because I haven't done those in forever. And then we got pause deadlifts, I believe, all the way through. Yeah, pause deadlifts. So you're gonna pull as fast as you want, but you have to pause for 1 second off the floor, and then you continue. Which I don't do pause deadlifts a lot, if not ever. So starting at 365 will definitely be a challenge, but we'll learn as we go. With the lighter weight, I will definitely be able to do it. It's something I just neglected, and it's something I probably shouldn't. But other than that, hamstrings and face pulls. I'm excited that there's face pulls in here because I started incorporating those in the last program, and those seem to help with putting weight on my back for low bar. It grew my rear delts a little bit more, and so I was getting more comfortable. Because when I first started, it felt so uncomfortable. But yeah, that kind of does it. This is block 1. Maybe I'll do an update, show you guys block 2 and how it's going. And then block 3. Block 3 will be so fun, because that's when you start doing like heavy weight. Like my single for week 1 is 435, and then at the end it would be what, 465. So 5 pounds below my max. Now, in a program, you shouldn't overshoot any of your sets, which is basically me like maxing out. If I'm overshooting, I'm maxing out. I'm going to try not to do that often. I'm going to try and do it maybe once every block, which is still a lot, I will say, because, you know, there's only 3 blocks, you're maxing out 3 times. But I won't max out on block 1 because it's all volume focus, getting your reps in, building your muscle before you start going heavier on block 2 and then really heavy on block 3. On block 2, maybe week 2, I'll try and do maybe a bench PR or a deadlift PR. It obviously depends on how I feel, but that's how I feel I can get my training maxes up to help me. But I will see. There's a good chance I don't max out. There's also a good chance I do, maybe on block 3, but we'll see how I feel. I believe maybe maxing out would be better on block 3 at the very end on week 4. And I would do a max squat attempt, a max bench attempt, and then a max deadlift attempt, which would make sense. That I most likely will probably do. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next SBD Monday video.